now spread all along the eastern seaboard. Reports indicate occurrences as far away as Canada and, although unconfirmed, parts of Europe may well be affected too. The Department of Homeland Security and FEMA are advising citizens to remain inside and to keep their doors locked until an official all clear is given. Decontamination camps are being brought online by FEMA to service infected areas. Everyone who arrives at the camps will be screened, and anyone who might be affected will be treated by trained Center of Disease Control healthcare workers. All flights along the eastern seaboard have been grounded, a move by the FAA not seen since 9/11. The White House called for all air traffic to cease until further notice in an attempt to stop the spread of infection to other areas. Now, just to recap the breaking news, a pandemic of what we are told is a weaponized version of necrotizing fasciitis has broken out. All major cities in the Northeast are confirming similar outbreaks. There are many theories about the outbreak's origin now being put forth. Some experts are now coming forward and claiming that GMO foods and cloned meats may have a part to play in what we are seeing unfold in the Northeast. These so-called frankenfoods are being blamed. Others are pointing to the recent H6N1 vaccine given out by the health authorities during the past flu season. The CDC has responded to these accusations, calling them unscientific and not worthy of comment. Dr. Patricia McMillan, the chief medical officer for the CDC, said at an earlier press conference that she feels, quote, although this does appear to be viral in nature, it is too soon to be more specific. The FDA insists that accusations against GMOs or cloned meats are groundless and unfounded, adding that whatever the cause may be, no products approved by the Food and Drug Administration could be responsible for an outbreak of this kind. Pharmaceutical company spokesman Larry Tate waded in, saying, quote, Glastral Dexter vaccines are perfectly safe and that the flu vaccine could not possibly be a factor. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has just announced it is calling the outbreak a pandemic level 6.
The World Health Organization has been in constant contact with authorities in the affected areas. Given the nature of what is known, we are certain that it is some type of pathogen that is infecting its victims. We are recommending quarantine in order to contain the spread and are advising all who are in that area to stay at home. Do not, under any circumstances, go out of doors. Hand washing is your very best defense against infection. Surgical masks and gloves may be worn where they are available, but washing your hands regularly is your very best defense.
This just in, the Pentagon has announced that they believe what we are seeing here is what some have been dreading for years. An attack, biological in nature, may have been perpetrated against the United States. The FBI have taken a Palestinian national into custody. Molmar Adolfi Albajama has been arrested and charged with the theft of a small aircraft. The aircraft Albajama is alleged to have stolen was witnessed by several people in the town of Montauk, New York, ground zero of the current outbreak, to be flying at a very low altitude yesterday evening. According to some eyewitness reports, the plane appeared to be spraying some sort of liquid. There is no official word from the FBI as of yet, but the Department of Homeland Security has verified that Albajama has been on the no-fly list since January of last year.
Mr. Albajama is in custody. We are looking into any connections that he may have had to the events that are occurring in our Northeast. Mr. Albajama is known to authorities and is suspected to have links with Al-Qaeda.
Joining us now live at Ground Zero is FBI spokesman Mark Phelps. Mark, what can you tell us about Mr. Albajama? Was he carrying out an Al-Qaeda biological attack?
Well, what we know for sure, Bill, is that Mr. Albajama did steal a light Cessna. And eyewitnesses have reported seeing him at airports in both New York and New Jersey around the time of the outbreak.
Well, there have been reports of a liquid spraying from his aircraft. Would you care to comment?
Well, the Center for Disease Control is testing the aircraft right now. They have found 2 large tanks full of fluid in the plane, but that's all we know about that for now.
Could you tell us more about this necrotizing fasciitis virus?
Well, I'm no doctor, Bill, but the way I see it is that this is the same virus that causes flesh-eating disease. only it's a particularly aggressive strain. It devours its victims and leaves them looking like they've been attacked by a wild animal.
How are things at the zone?
Pretty good, Bill. As you know, we've moved back earlier. And we think that we're getting on top of containing this outbreak.
Well, keep up the good work, Mark. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
We're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be talking about what's happening in the markets today. And that darling of Wall Street, the company that can do no wrong, Glastrol Dexter. Excuse me, this is a closed set.
Stay back. Stay away. Go away. Go.